what I have here is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me, because what you see behind me is a very special truck. It's a 1997 Toyota pickup, but it's hiding a couple of huge surprises under the hood. First of all, this truck you see here has about 609,000 miles on it, and almost all of those miles have been with a supercharger. In this video, I'll do a little bit of old versus new Toyota Tacoma, but also show you all the coolest features on this 97 little truck. Here it is, the Nexen Tire Nexen Hero Jeep Wrangler JL. It's a giveaway Jeep. Nexen Tire partnered with Purple Heart Foundation, All-J Products, and Rugged Ridge to build this Jeep to what you see here, and then give it away to one of our veterans. Very, very cool. You can enter the contest by submitting your story to Nexen Tire, and they'll pick one winner at the end of this year, 2019, and give away this really cool Jeep. Use the link in the description below. First, I want to thank John, the owner of this truck, for bringing this here. And this truck is very special. John has owned it since new, since 97, and this truck is in amazing shape. But what do we have here under the hood? It's a 3.4 liter V6, and over those late 90s, early 2000s, this has been the workhorse engine for Toyota trucks. This engine was not just in the Tacoma, it was also a base engine in the Tundra and several other vehicles. But that's not all we have here. Yes, you're starting out with about 190 horsepower and 220 pound-feet of torque base. But then this right here, TRD Supercharger, which is a dealership installed option, and the first year you could do it was 97. And John tells me that he dynoed this truck at around 260 horsepower to the wheels. So this little truck that weighs about 3,300 pounds could be making over 300 horsepower here under the hood. At about 480,000 miles on the original engine and the original supercharger that was rebuilt about every 150,000 miles, the head gasket went. And John actually replaced the entire engine and kept the same supercharger. Huge thanks to John for letting me drive. I gotta feel this for myself. Okay, I need to stop my giggling. Alright, the 5-speed shifts really smoothly. Still kind of a long throw. It's amazing, this truck still feels like a time capsule, even though it's over 22 years old, and it has over 609,000 miles. So how can that be? How can you make about 300 horsepower or more from a 3.4 liter V6 and still maintain that durability and longevity for about 480,000 miles? Well, part of it is also a methanol injection. There is a pump right here, and it injects the mixture into the intake because this truck doesn't have an intercooler. And when you're adding boost, about 10 psi in this case, you're increasing the intake temps by a lot. So methanol injection helps a lot, and John is using actually windshield washer fluid as the source for the injection because that's about 30% methanol, and it works great. It doesn't add too much power, but it actually cools down the intake. A couple of other details under the hood. First of all, a K&N air intake system. That's pretty nice. Also, snow performance controller under here, and you can actually dial it in to when to start methanol injection and when to end it, and how the progression is. It kind of controls all that, so it's not just on off. So, and there's a light inside on the A-pillar gauge to let you know the methanol is being used. Now, a little bit of old versus new. The truck you see behind me here is a 2020 Toyota Tacoma Crew Cab, 5-foot bed, TRD Pro, and the reason why it's all muddy and dirty is because we also compared it against the new Ford Ranger, and you could see that video on the TFL Truck channel. for comparing the sizes of trucks, it's so obvious that the 97 Tacoma is just so much smaller and lighter than the brand new truck. Trucks keep getting larger and larger by the year. This 97 Tacoma regular cab 4-wheel drive is around 3,300 pounds. On the other hand, this fully loaded TRD Pro is about 4,600 pounds of curb weight. This is a Toyota truck, so we gotta talk hood scoops. What you see here is actually not a stock configuration. In 97, no hood scoop was available on the Tacoma, but what this is, it's actually a hood scoop off of a 97 4Runner grafted onto the hood of the Tacoma because the two were not exactly matching. And this hood scoop is functional. It's just getting a little bit more air towards the supercharger. Let's look at the new truck. Yep, the hood scoop is still here on the brand new 2020 truck. This particular one is non-functional, although if you lift the hood, you can actually undo some of the plastic components and actually make it functional if you want. But Toyota says, I mean, it's here for looks, it looks very aggressive, but they want all the air to actually come through the front grille and the radiator to cool the engine down instead of getting some sort of other turbulence inside the engine bay. One funny part is the hood latch is about the same, except it's now further on the left. Oh my god, this hood is actually very, very heavy, and it has a prop stick. The old truck also had a prop stick, but John put those struts on there, which are so much more useful. But under the hood here is actually an engine of a similar displacement, a 3.5 liter. But of course, it's very, very high-tech. Dual injectors, direct and port, and the output on this particular stock engine is 278 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque. So stock, way more power than the stock old truck, but this engine doesn't compare to what that little supercharged engine can do. So I was talking to John, the owner, and I asked him, you know, why put a supercharger on a truck? And he kind of just smiled and said, you know, for fun, because your vehicle has to be fun. And I completely agree. This truck feels lightweight. It still feels solid as a rock. This is why Toyota has that reputation for durability and longevity. It's because of trucks like this. So let me show you guys a full acceleration run here. And I'm in two-wheel drive. So one thing I notice is the engine doesn't rev super quick like a sports car engine would be, because it's not a sports car. It's a truck that's been a work truck for all these years, but has so much power. This truck just keeps surprising me. Just look at all the body panels. There is no rust. This is original paint. The hood has been repainted because of the hood scoop, and these graphics have been updated. But it's amazing. The bed is solid. The underneath of the truck is pretty solid. I guess that's what Colorado does for you. Low humidity here. Pretty nice truck. Some things change and some things stay the same. For 2020, this is a brand new color for the TRD Pro, Army Green. Really, really cool color. Also, stickers are here. Of course, they're updated to be modern. And just hoping that this truck lasts another, 23, 24 years in this condition, just like the old one. Funny thing, this is a 97 truck, but TRD as a division of Toyota didn't really come in full force until 98. But this supercharged badge you see on the back of the truck actually came with a supercharger, and 97 trucks were compatible with a supercharger from Toyota, hence this truck. Over the years, of course, TRD has developed into what you see here, TRD Pro. There's also TRD Off-Road, there's also TRD Sport. Each package is a little bit unique and is meant for either more street performance or, in this case, off-road performance. And this truck is equipped with a lot of gear. Fox shocks, it's got crawl control, it's very high-tech, and very off-road worthy. John, the owner of this truck, actually uses it for towing. He's got a tandem axle trailer about 20 feet long and probably around 4,000 pounds max weight. And he's well equipped for this. I mean, he's got a hitch capable of about 5,500 pounds of towing. He's got the wiring connector for the brakes. Really well done. Of course, these trucks, especially the two-door trucks, were not meant to tow very much. I'm glad to see that John has equipped it properly for towing. Naturally, all trucks didn't come with brake controllers. Here's an aftermarket one right here under the dash. Of course, as the years progressed, towing became more and more important. Hence, this truck is equipped properly for towing. It's got a new style 7-pin connector, also an older 4-pin, still a 2-inch hitch receiver, and the total maximum tow rating here is around 6,400 pounds. And this truck can do it. It doesn't like doing it in the mountains, but it will do it. You could see that the owner, John, loves this truck. It's his baby, because there's little touches on the interior that have been updated, and a lot of it is with function in mind. Well, there's an aftermarket stereo deck. There's a scan gauge to monitor temperatures. There is a gauge to monitor tire pressures. Check out this old school parking brake. Yes, I love that stuff. Of course, a 5-speed manual transmission, supercharged truck with a 5-speed. Awesome. Here's your lever for your 4-wheel drive and 4-low. That's all there. And of course, there's a Garmin, because we all have to have navigation. Of course, there's an extra gauge for boost monitoring and air fuel mixture here on the left. And these seats, you know, like sport truck seats. This is pretty fun. Look at this, roll up windows, roll down windows. This is becoming a novelty these days. I think there might be still like a truck like a Jeep Gladiator for 2020. One of the only new trucks with a manually rolling window, but this was very common for that era, and it makes the truck lighter and simpler and nice. Of course, the new truck is a little bit wider, a little bit more comfortable. For 2020, Toyota has updated the driver's seat for more range. I feel a smidge more comfortable, but still, I'm just over 6'2". I don't fit quite well in here. In the middle here, there's a 6-speed automatic transmission lever, but Toyota still offers a 6-speed manual transmission on their off-road Tacomas. Of course, you have the most modern infotainment system here in the middle with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have wireless phone charging in the center. It's nice to see Toyota is still using an actual mechanical brake handle, but there's no more lever to select 4-wheel drive. It's now just a little knob on the dash, and it doesn't feel very solid. The new Tacoma is competitively equipped with all of its high-tech features, but you still have to pay quite a lot of money for this brand new truck. And I'll touch on the pricing at the end of the video. In the old truck, it's a proper steel bed, and John had it Line-X'd, bed lined, which will make it last forever. It should, at least. But let me show you the new bed. The beds became a little bit more high-tech. First of all, dampened tailgate, and of course Toyota Tacoma is now using a composite rear bed structure, and it has some new tricks. Of course, rails for moving cleats around, tying things down. There's a little cubby hole on this side, and a proper 110 volt outlet. So the beds are a little bit more usable now, although in this crew cab it's a 5-footer. In that regular cab old truck, it's a proper 6-foot bed. The old truck has aftermarket wheels and tires, but they're stock size. Still a 15-inch wheel and this all-terrain tire Dynapro that you see here. But some things never change. This truck is equipped with rear drum brakes, discs in the front, and so is a brand new 2020 truck. Discs in the front, drum brakes in the rear. And according to Toyota, the rear drums are actually a little bit more usable off-road with the rocks and the mud and everything flying. And also they feel like they don't need that much braking power on the back because the front does most of the braking. This new truck is riding on a 16-inch wheel and Wrangler Kevlar tires. A lot of manufacturers are developing or rumored to be developing smaller trucks. As mid-sized trucks grow in size and capability, all of a sudden there's space below them for more of a compact truck. Hyundai just announced that they're going to be building the Santa Cruz crossover truck. Ford is rumored to be building the Ford Courier small truck. And maybe more companies, as that space develops, will have more lifestyle little trucks. Not much different from this one. And it's good because it's maneuverable. I have a lot of visibility all the way around the truck. It's a four-wheel drive, it can go off-road, and John even tows a trailer with this truck. This is a gem. I'm really happy that I got an opportunity to actually drive it and experience it. There's just nothing that can replace that supercharger whine, shifting your own gears in a little lightweight truck like this one. But I promised you pricing, right? In '97, John purchased this two-door Tacoma four-wheel drive for around $17,000 approximately. Then the supercharger was just over $2,000. Of course, there's labor involved to install it. I mean, this truck had a new engine at about $480,000, which actually that engine wasn't brand new. It was a salvage engine. But how does it compare to the new truck? Well, the new TRD Pro Crew Cab Tacoma starts at around $42,000, $43,000. This truck you see here with the desert air intake, all the other options, is pushing closer to $49,000, almost $50,000. So you could see, even with inflation, that the pricing is still growing. And guys, thanks for joining me, and go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and really awesome old truck with over 600,000 miles reviews. John bought this truck at Groove Toyota, and they said as soon as he hits 1 million miles, they promised him a new truck. But you don't see stickers like this very often. 610,000 miles next oil change. Yikes.